Hi, this is Dave and welcome to the Table, a series of videos where I review and discuss various board and card games, looking at them from a family perspective. Today we're going to be taking a look at The Captain is Dead, a game designed by Joe Price and J.T. Smith. Now this is a 2 to 7 player cooperative game where you're working as a member on the crew of a capital starship and you're under attack by aliens. Now your main objective is to get the jump core back online and get out of hostile space. Now that may seem like no problem, but there's so many things that are going to be coming at you that it's going to make this a difficult task. So let's take a look at this game, how it's played, and I'll come back and I'll give you my thoughts. Alright, let's take a look at the components in The Captain is Dead, and this is a prototype version of the game, so it may or may not reflect the final version of what you're going to get. But in the game itself, we have this game board here that's set up like a capital ship cruiser here with all the various sections of the ship, and we have all the various systems lining the board here that can be accessed in these different areas of the ship. We also have these alien pawns that come with the game, and they're going to be attacking the ship. We also have some torpedoes that come here with the game. We have 6 that will be loaded up on the ship, and we have some additional ones that can be manufactured later on. We have these player pawns here. They're going to represent each player here for the game, and then also up at the top here are going to be the role cards that will be associated with each of these pawns, so you'll have a choice of roles that you'll be able to choose. There's going to be a number of these skill cards here that come in the skill deck here, and we've got science, and we have tactical, we have engineering, and we have command here. So these are the different skills that you'll be using to carry out certain system actions that are going to occur during the game. We also have these battle plans here, and these are different things that you can get from the captain's journal here that will give you certain advantages during the game. And finally, we have the alert deck here, and this is going to be what happens bad every time that there is a turn ending in this game. And so we have some yellow alert cards here, and these aren't so bad, and then we start getting into orange alert, and finally we get down to the red alert, and so it could be really, really bad. So that's all what comes in this game. We've got a couple other markers here too. I'm sorry that we have something here for marking the shields, and we also have this progress marker here for the jump core, and then we also have this one blockade that will be set off to the side for engineering. Alright, let me get this game set up and I'll show you how to play. Okay, at the start of the game, what I did was on the board here we put all of the system cards onto the board that needed to be placed on here into an online status. Some of these cards here, for example, here these external scanners, you can see that it's online here, and it will give you a certain advantage, so you'd be able to see some alerts that are coming up. They can become damaged and then they will go offline, and so you're going to have to be able to spend actions and skills in order to get them back online. Or on the board here it can be destroyed, and you're going to have to spend even more actions and more skills in order to get them back reinstalled on the system. So that's going to happen here for the external scanners and the comm system, the computers and the internal sensors, and the torpedo tube over here. We've got other systems that are going to be unaffected here. They're always going to be online. For example, here the security station, the trauma station, and the cargo pod. We're going to take some of these, we've got some of these science upgrades here, and we're going to put them all in a stack here. These are all inactive, and we'll place them down here, inactive upgrades, and so over the course of the game they can be researched, and we can have upgrades that are going to go to the ship. Next we're going to take 6 torpedoes, and we're going to load up our torpedo tubes over here. These will be, once these are gone, we're going to have to manufacture more torpedoes in order to fire them. And we're going to take all of these skill cards here, and we're going to shuffle up the deck. We're going to deal 3 up here for the internal sensors, and each player was dealt 5 skill cards here. For we have science, we have engineering, we have tactical, and we have command skills. So they're going to be, each player is going to be dealt 5 of them. and they're going to take one of them eventually, and they're going to place them into the cargo pod over here. Each player is going to be randomly dealt one of the pawns, and they will have a choice of 2 roles to select to play, and none of them are bad. It just each one has a different feel and how the game is played. And so for here we have we're going to be showing off here the Chief Engineer, we have the Cyborg, we have a hologram over here, and we have the First Officer. And let me show you the cards real quick here. And for example here, the Chief Engineer, he has a rank of 2, and so the lower the rank, the higher up they are. So like a 1, for example, the First Officer, they're going to be going first each round, and and then number 2, and then so on and so forth. We also have here a hand limit. For example, here he can only have a maximum of 6 cards in his hand. These things right here are going to show you the actions that he can take, so he can take 4 actions per turn. And then down here, these are what's called skill discounts, and so he will be able to have, these are knowledge that he always has, and will give him a discount when having to perform certain actions that will require engineering. And he has a special ability. It says when repairing the jump core, you may do so for 1 less action. So this is the guy here who you're going to rely on to be getting this jump core all the way up to engage to win the game. We have the Cyborg here, and he's unaffected by anomalies, and he's got a hand size of 7, so he can have some more cards, but he doesn't have any skill discounts. We have this hologram over here. He's got a hand size of 8, so he can have a lot of cards, and he's got quite a number of discounts, and he can only move via the teleporter. So if the teleporter goes offline, or the computers, he is returned to and confined to the computer core. He can't kill aliens unless he goes to the security station, so he can't go shoot things, and he can't be injured. And then finally we have the First Officer, and once per turn he can draw a battle plan for 1 less action, or he can search through discarded battle plans, and he can spend 4 command and 2 actions to retrieve them. So we've got that. Finally we have these battle plans are placed here, and we shuffled up these alert cards here in order. So we've got the red ones on the bottom, orange, and then yellow ones on top. What we're going to do is we're going to draw 2 face up here. And then what's going to happen is we are going to, as we get started here, we have to cause damage and get into the game. So for each player we will draw and resolve each 1 card. So for example here we have Teleporter Overload. Teleporter's offline, all players in engineering are injured. So right in the beginning here, Teleporter goes offline, and he is injured. So when he's injured, you just lay him on his side. And so he was limited in his number of what he can do. Next, here we have this Alien Fighter. Yellow alert. It says, whenever the shields take damage, increase damage by 10%. And this is a ship here. It says ships remain in play. To get rid of it, you have to fire the torpedo tube to destroy the ship. So this is going to stay over here next to this hostile alien ship. So this is always going to be in effect until we get rid of it. The next one here, we have another fighter. It says whenever the shield takes damage, increase damage by 10%. So we've got 2 of these 2 alien ships here. And finally, this one here says computers offline. Reduce the shields by 10%. Computers are offline. So now this is going to get bad. Computers go offline here, so we don't have the ability to get any new skills right now. And we've got these 2 ships here that when the shields are affected, they're going to drop down by 10% each. So now, instead of just 10%, it's going to go down 30%. So shields will be down to 70%. Now we're ready to start the game. And we're going to start with each player here is going to go according to skill rank, and they're going to be able to use their actions. So some of the things that they can do on their actions, they can move around the ship 2 spaces. If the teleporter was online, they'd be able to move anywhere, but now that we have to get this repaired here. So we can move around the ship, we can acquire skills and give skills using the comms system right now. While it's online, we can get them from anywhere. So what we're going to try to do is try to, best we can, hold off all the aliens here that are going to be coming, and the main goal is to try and get this jump core online. Well, what the First Officer is going to do is use one of his actions, and he has a skill discount of one command, and he can do this for one less. This is normally 2 actions and 1 command. He can draw a battle plan, so we're going to draw one here. And this says, here, make 1 jump core repair now as a free action, discard this card after use. Well, this is a really, really good thing, and we don't have to use this right away, but I think that we're going to do this to try and get us closer to getting out of dodge. So we're going to do that, and boom, right away we fix this, so we'll slide this up 1 space here. You can adjust this however you want to start off with. I started off on normal, and so you move it up, but you want to move it up to the space where it says engage. It's got a couple other actions here that we can do. So I have a total of 4 actions I could take. I could take 1, and I have 3 actions that I have left. And so what I'm going to do is move into the cargo hold as 1 action, and I'm going to take this command from here and put it into my hand here. And that will be my 4th action that I will take. So what's going to happen now here is, I forget these have to stay up, is now there's going to be some things that are going to happen here, and each of these actions can be overridden for a cost of 3 command. So we have to use these things wisely. So what's going to happen here, this is going to resolve here. External scanners are offline. All players on the bridge are injured. Nobody's on the bridge right now, so we're good there. External scanners go offline, so what's going to happen is discard face-up alerts. So this one here that would have been coming is going to go into our discard pile. One thing I do want to show you is sometimes we have these anomalies that are going to have a negative effect on the ability to play the game, and so the only way to get rid of these is to research them in the science lab. It'll take you 1 action and 4 science to get rid of these, but this one would have been bad. Players may not use or repair systems if no other player is present in their location. The science lab is unaffected. If this is a 2-player game, you can ignore this, but what's going to happen is basically you have to have somebody else with you before you can repair systems, so it's going to be really, really crazy. So now that this scanner is offline, we're not going to know what the alerts are coming, so we have no way to prepare for them. So that's going to, essentially what's going to happen is over the course of this game, each player is going to be using their actions here to try to best fix the warp core and get out. But you're going to have bad things coming. You're going to start having aliens will start showing up, and if we have aliens on the ship here, they don't do anything. But you can't perform the action in that room unless the aliens are gone, so you'll have to destroy them. So you'd have to use actions to destroy them. If we get 12 aliens on the ship, the game is over. If our shields are reduced all the way down to 0, the game is over. But if we manage to get the jump core all the way up to engage, the game is over and we win. Those other ones would be a loss. Now, this game is going to be very, very challenging because as we start having bad things on here and we're injured, you're going to have to spend all of your actions to move around, get to the infirmary, to get yourself healed. We can try to keep systems online so that you can use skills, use the different systems to trade these skills back and forth. So these are resources that you can give and take to other players. If the comm systems are on, you can do it anywhere on the ship. Otherwise, you have to be in the same room. So you're going to have to manage your actions. But you know, as we go along here, once we go through all these yellow alerts, these things aren't so bad. We start getting into the orange alerts, and even more bad things happen. And so as we keep progressing, the longer that it takes for us to get that jump core repaired, the things are going to get worse and worse. And by the time we get to red alert, you're going to have something really bad. For example, here, jump core is destroyed. Game over. The players lose. So you could have some really, really bad things happen. You have the systems to use as your advantage. You have your players, and you have to talk through with each other. So, again, you're going to be moving around the ship. You're firing torpedoes to get rid of these things. And it's just a whole bunch of crazy, crazy fun. I just wanted to give you a brief overview of how this is played, and this is The Captain is Dead. Alright, let's talk about The Captain is Dead, and I'm going to cut right to the chase. This is the best cooperative game that I have ever played, and I'm going to get into several of the reasons why as I talk about this game. And let me start off with the fact that it's just got a really, really cool theme. You're on a starship and you have to take on the role of a crew member. And so one of the cool things in this game is that you are dealt a specific colored pawn, and so you have a couple of roles that you can choose from to play, so you're not always stuck with just the one thing. So if you're like the orange, you know, it's like you're not going to always be whatever that orange character would be. You have a choice between two. And so each of the roles gives the game a different flavor, and different combinations of how people are playing just changes up the overall gameplay experience. So I really, really like that. The other thing with this game is that you know, your main objective is to get the jump core back online and be able to get it to the engage spot and win the game. But there are so many things that happen during the game that they offer these distractions that you have to really figure out how you're going to manage your actions and manage your resources and stay focused on that jump core. And it's easier said than done because you have hostile aliens that are coming onto the ship, and you have different systems that are going offline, and so you're going to have to really manage what you're going to do. You know, the more systems that you can keep online, the more advantages that you have. If you have the comm system online, you can be able to give and take skills to other players without having to be in the same location. The teleporter, you can move around the ship for one action instead of only being able to move 2 spaces. You have the external sensors and scanners that are going to be up there that are going to allow you to see what kind of bad things are coming up. You have the computers that are there that are going to allow you to get the skills, and if those different systems go offline, it's going to make things more difficult, and you're going to have to spend your precious resources and your actions to get those systems back online. Couple of things though, you want to keep those systems on, especially if you're playing with the hologram. He's kind of more of a fragile character, but he's very powerful all the same because he can move around the ship and he can do things, and he's not affected by aliens. Whereas other players, if there's aliens in a specific space, you have to kill them first before you can do your actions. But if either the teleporter or the computer systems go offline, he's going to be confined to the CPU core and he can't move. The only thing that he can do then is use the comm system to be able to dole out some of the skills. And if the computers or the teleporter is destroyed, then it's going to be almost game over, because it's going to be really, for him at least, because it's going to take a lot of actions and resources to get those systems back online. So it's very challenging. The game itself, you know, you have, after every turn, you have these different alerts that are going to come up, and so they're going to get worse and worse the more that the game progresses. One of the cool things with those alerts is similar to like a game like Forbidden Island, is that you're going to have certain bad things happen first. So this particular game, depending on the number of players, you have all these alerts that are going to come up, and it's all this initial damage that you have no way to override it. So you're going to have you're right in the middle of this just really bad stuff. So the game just adds this super high level of intensity, and it just makes the game like you're on the edge of your seat the whole time of the game. It's like every time that you play this, your adrenaline's going to be pumping. So that's another reason why I love this game. It is a very difficult game to play, and so it's not easy to beat. And if you think that it's easy to beat, you have an adjustable difficulty level, so you can go all the way up to like insane, which is you have a long way to go in order to repair that jump core, and so you're going to be meeting some of those alerts faster than later. You're also, one of the things with this game is that you have those alien ships that come in and you have an ongoing effect, and so you have to decide if you're going to fire torpedoes to get rid of it. You have anomalies that are going to come up. You know, and all this while you have all these different things that are going to keep distracting you from focusing on getting that jump core repaired. And so it really, so much of this stuff, it's like it's baiting you to spend your actions in doing different things. And so, so you have to, again, it all comes down to this decision making and managing your resources. Now, there are some cool things that you can do with your science skills. You can actually research and kind of come up with some upgrades to kind of help your ship out, so that's cool too. So you have all of these just really, really cool things that are going on in this game. And you just have a lot of different things that are going on. You really have to work together. The overall feel of this game, it makes you feel like you are a crew member on this ship. So it just adds just so much in intensity. Now, looking at this game from a family perspective, this game is all about teamwork. So, as a family, you all would have to work together playing this. So it's really, really good in developing that cooperative nature amongst all of the players. So in a family, it's making everybody have to work together to accomplish something. It's also going to really make you have to discuss things, think about things, listen to what everybody has to say to try to come up with the best decisions as to how to manage all of your turns in order to be successful in this game. So you've got those really, really strong things that are going on there. Also, for families that are around like my age who grew up with Star Trek, I was watching it. It wasn't like first run, but I saw they were like reruns when I was a kid. So it kind of brings back that nostalgic feel of that, and so you can introduce that to your family members too. Like you go back and watch some of those old episodes of like stuff like Star Trek, or even like Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Babylon 5, Star Wars, any of those movies where you start seeing different bad things start happening to your a ship. And it's going to give you that overall feel. So this is something that I really, really, really enjoy. This project is currently on Kickstarter, and so if you are interested in pledging to back this project, I highly recommend that you do. This is just overall just a great, 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 great game, and I like it. Definitely a thumbs up, and you make sure that you support this project. It is totally awesome. It's totally worth this game. So, all right, and that's it for now. Captain is Dead. I will have all of the information in the video description below and take you to the link to support this project and bring it to life. All right, that's it for now, and join me again next time as we take a look at another game and we see how it makes it to the table.